The deep ocean is a world of crushing pressure and eternal darkness. It is a place where sunlight fades to black, and the weight of the water above can crush steel like paper. Few have ever ventured so far beneath the waves, and even fewer have returned to tell the tale. On June 18, 2023, the submersible Titan began its descent to the Titanic wreck, nearly 4 kilometers below. The mission was daring, aiming to reach the legendary shipwreck that has fascinated the world for over a century. Operated by OceanGate Expeditions, Titan carried 5 people, each drawn by curiosity and adventure. Among them were explorers, a father and son, and the company's own CEO, united by a shared dream to witness history firsthand. But this journey would end in tragedy, turning hope and excitement into fear and heartbreak. Titan lost all contact with its support ship, the Polar Prince, just 1 hour and 45 minutes into its dive. The silence was sudden and complete, leaving the crew above with no answers. At first there was hope, maybe just a technical glitch, a minor setback in a dangerous environment. The team clung to the possibility that the sub would soon reappear, but as hours passed, hope faded. The ocean's vastness became more daunting, and the reality of the situation began to set in. A massive search began, capturing the world's attention. News spread quickly, and people everywhere watched and waited, hoping for a miracle. Nations sent ships and aircraft, racing against time and dwindling oxygen. The search became a global effort, with experts and volunteers joining forces. Days later, a remotely operated vehicle found a debris field near the Titanic. The discovery was heartbreaking, confirming the worst fears of everyone involved. The fragments were unmistakably from Titan. The dream of reaching the Titanic had ended in disaster, leaving only wreckage behind. The sub had suffered a catastrophic implosion, instantaneous total collapse under immense pressure. In the blink of an eye, the vessel was destroyed, leaving no chance for survival. All 5 aboard were killed instantly: Stockton Rush, Hamish Harding, Paul Henry Nargile, Shahzada Dawood, and his son Sulman. Their lives, filled with adventure and ambition, were cut tragically short. Their dream of seeing the Titanic ended in unimaginable loss. The ocean, which had drawn them with its mysteries, became their final resting place. The world grieved, and questions arose about the price of extreme adventure. Families mourned, and experts debated the risks and rewards of exploring the unknown. The Titan's fate became a stark warning. It reminded us that the ocean, for all its beauty, remains a place of danger and mystery. It was a tragedy that echoed far beyond the ocean floor. The loss was felt around the world, sparking reflection on the limits of human exploration, and it forced us to confront the risks we take in pursuit of the unknown, reminding us that some frontiers are still unforgiving, no matter how advanced our technology or how strong our desire to explore. At the heart of the Titan story is Stockton Rush, the visionary founder and CEO of OceanGate, whose relentless drive shaped the company's destiny. Rush dreamed of making the deep ocean accessible to all, believing that the mysteries of the sea, not the vastness of space, represented Earth's true final frontier. He saw the ocean's depths as a place of untapped potential, waiting for pioneers to unlock its secrets. He saw himself as a bold innovator, often frustrated by what he considered outdated and overly restrictive safety rules that, in his view, stifled progress and creativity. Instead of following established industry protocols, Rush chose to bypass them, insisting that his groundbreaking designs were so advanced they rendered existing standards obsolete. As a result, the Titan submersible operated without any independent safety certification, a decision that set it apart from other deep-sea vehicles. Rush's undeniable charisma and persuasive vision attracted investors and adventurous clients alike, but his unwavering confidence often crossed the line into hubris, blinding him to potential dangers. He dismissed repeated expert warnings, firmly believing that his innovative carbon fiber hull was a revolutionary breakthrough, despite its unproven track record in such extreme conditions. "If you're not breaking things, you're not innovating," he famously declared, capturing his willingness to take risks in the name of progress. This mindset prioritized pushing boundaries and achieving the extraordinary over-exercising caution and respecting established limits. To Rush, safety regulations were not safeguards, but obstacles standing in the way of innovation and discovery. His leadership style fostered an echo chamber within OceanGate. Dissenting voices were discouraged, and his ambitious vision quickly became company dogma, leaving little room for debate. Warnings from staff and outside experts were often downplayed, dismissed, or outright ignored as the company pressed forward with its bold plans. The relentless pursuit of innovation and achievement overshadowed the fundamental need for safety, creating a culture where risk was normalized. Rush's ambition undeniably drove OceanGate forward, inspiring his team to reach for new heights. But it also blinded the company to the mounting risks and warning signs that grew with each mission. The Titan's story stands as a powerful cautionary tale, a stark reminder of what can happen when unchecked vision and ambition go unchallenged. It shows how the conviction of a single leader, when left unchecked, can override the collective wisdom and experience of an entire organization, and how the relentless drive to be first, to make history, can sometimes lead not to triumph, but to tragedy and disaster. In the end, Stockton Rush's ambition, unrestrained and untempered, proved fatal, leaving behind a legacy both of innovation and of warning for future explorers. Titan's most critical and ultimately fatal feature was its hull, the very structure meant to protect its occupants from the crushing pressure of the deep ocean. Unlike traditional submersibles, which rely on tried and tested spherical hulls made from titanium or steel, Titan's designers opted for a carbon fiber cylinder, a bold departure from established engineering wisdom. This was a radical, untested choice, driven by the desire to innovate and reduce weight, but it came with significant unknowns. Spheres distribute pressure evenly in all directions, making them ideal for withstanding the immense forces of the deep sea. Cylinders, on the other hand, concentrate stress along their length, creating weak points. Carbon fiber is strong and light, prized in aerospace and automotive industries, but its behavior under the relentless, crushing pressure of the deep ocean was poorly understood and largely unproven in this context. Many experts in the field warned that such a hull could fail suddenly and catastrophically, without any prior warning signs. In fact, Titan's hull had already shown troubling signs of weakness before its final dive. Audible cracking sounds, visible delamination, and stress at the joints where materials met. Instead of opting for a complete redesign or more rigorous testing, OceanGate relied on acoustic monitoring to detect potential problems during dives, hoping to catch issues before disaster struck. The combination of a cylindrical shape and carbon fiber construction created instability and unpredictable stress points at extreme depths, far beyond what had been safely tested. The addition of titanium end caps, bonded directly to the carbon fiber, introduced further stress points at the joints, areas especially vulnerable to failure. With each dive, the hull's integrity was weakened further as microscopic damage accumulated and spread. Ultimately, the catastrophic implosion was the inevitable result of this flawed and risky design, a tragic outcome of ignoring established engineering principles. The gamble on innovation, without the backing of proven safety measures or thorough testing, sealed Titan's fate and cost precious lives. The lessons from Titan's loss are clear, but tragically, they were learned only after disaster struck. In the unforgiving environment of the deep sea, there is no margin for error. Every decision can mean the difference between life and death. The Titan's design was a fatal experiment, a stark reminder of the risks of pushing boundaries without respecting the lessons of the past. The Titan tragedy was no surprise to many in the marine technology community. Warnings were frequent and clear, yet consistently ignored. In 2018, dozens of experts urged Stockton Rush to seek independent certification for Titan. He dismissed their concerns as attacks on innovation. Inside OceanGate, safety director David Lockridge raised alarms about the hull and viewport. He was fired for refusing to approve manned tests. This sent a chilling message: dissent was not tolerated. Employees learned that speaking up could cost them their jobs. The company became an echo chamber, reinforcing Rush's beliefs. Technical problems and ominous sounds on earlier dives were explained away. The acoustic monitoring system gave warnings, but expeditions continued. Each successful trip reinforced a false sense of safety. Critical feedback loops were broken. The culture prioritized vision over caution. The result was a vessel growing weaker with every dive. The disaster was not just a technical failure, it was a failure to listen. June 18, 2023, began with anticipation. 5 people sealed themselves inside Titan, ready to visit the Titanic. The sub was launched and began its descent. For nearly 2 hours, all seemed normal. Then, contact was lost. On the surface, hope lingered for a technical glitch, but as time passed, dread set in. A frantic international search began, drawing global attention. For 4 days, the world watched, clinging to hope. The search area was vast, the ocean unforgiving. On June 22nd, a remotely operated vehicle found debris near the Titanic. The evidence was clear: Titan had imploded. The immense pressure caused the hull to collapse instantly. The 5 aboard died in less than a millisecond. No time to react. Their journey ended in an instant, violent failure. The warnings had been tragically accurate. The abyss claimed them, and the world was left searching for answers. After the disaster, the search for survivors became a search for answers. The U.S. Coast Guard launched its highest-level investigation. The findings were damning. OceanGate had ignored safety standards and warnings about the carbon fiber hull. The company prioritized innovation and cost-cutting over safety, exploiting regulatory loopholes. New recommendations called for mandatory certification of all passenger submersibles, regardless of where they operate. The investigation exposed a culture of negligence and set the stage for sweeping reforms. The Titan implosion triggered a wave of legal and industry consequences. Families of the victims filed lawsuits, revealing more evidence of OceanGate's negligence. The deep-sea tourism industry was shaken, with reputable companies demanding stricter regulations. The tragedy forced a reckoning about risk, consent, and transparency in extreme tourism. OceanGate's name became synonymous with catastrophic failure. The industry now faces intense scrutiny and a renewed commitment to safety. The Titan story is more than a maritime accident. It's a modern parable. It highlights the dangers of hubris and the peril of ignoring expert warnings. The disaster shows how organizations can suppress dissent, leading to catastrophic decisions. It's a cautionary tale about innovation without validation, and the risks of charismatic leadership unchecked by expertise. Some rules are not obstacles, but guardrails built from hard-won lessons. The Titan's implosion was a failure of humility and respect for nature's power. More than 2 years later, the memory of Titan's loss remains vivid. The tragedy has become a catalyst for change in deep-sea exploration. New international laws now require third-party certification for all passenger submersibles. The cost of entry is now safety, not shortcuts. Families of the victims have become advocates, ensuring the lessons are not forgotten. The names of those lost are now linked to a movement for accountability. The Titan story will be studied for generations, as a warning and a call to responsibility. Its legacy is a beacon, lighting the way towards safer exploration of the unknown.